I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we welcome you to Lucas Oil Stadium, which opened back in 2008 here in the Circle City of Indianapolis, Indiana. Just a short time ago, smoke from the pyrotechnics filled the dome as the Colts made their way out of the locker room. We're set for football as the Colts get set to match up with the Houston Texans. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they come in 0-3 and in desperate need of a win.
And as a team, you start to feel a little bit snake bit. They need something good to happen right now so they know it's not just them. They think they have the makings of a good team.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the Stanford man. It's Andrew Luck.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
They keep it on the ground. Mack again. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Luck on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 36 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Now the fourth-year man from Texas A&M, Christine Michael. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The 4-time All-Pro, J.J. Watt. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for a loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. Back deep, Bruce Ellington. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 20. They go play action here on 1st down. He'll buy some time right. Room here to run. And right away, he lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. That's probably bringing back nightmares of last week, isn't it?
No doubt about it. Right now, I'm looking over at the coaching staff, and I'm seeing the wheels turning in their heads. And you know what is happening? They're remembering how they started the season in camp, even in the offseason where they emphasized ball security, and they're wondering why the message isn't sinking in.
Yeah, 5 turnovers last week, now 1 here in the opening quarter. And this is caught at the end. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are going to take a first-quarter lead. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. Here comes Bruce Ellington on the return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You'd better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
On 1st down, it's Watson. And complete to Lamar Miller. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. And he'll find Akins there, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Jabal Sheard. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. That's a good sign early for the Colts, who had just 25 sacks last season.
People talk about putting an emphasis on an area of need. That's showing that the emphasis is paying off. Going ahead and getting to the quarterback early. When you only have 25 sacks in a season, that's not going to get you to the playoff.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the All-Pro, Navarro Bowman. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
Throwing on third down. Lost. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to fourth down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. To throw is Watson. And it'll be brought down by the Colts. John Simon in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
3rd and long. It's Watson. And this is going to be incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions. And
now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. And before the punt, time is going to run out on this first quarter. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the football to begin quarter number 2. They take over 1st and 10 up near midfield. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. A run by Mack to start the drive. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Right back to him on 1st down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
5, 6, 3, 7, hold it.
Here's Luck now on 2nd down. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team that had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward. Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Watson now to throw. He's got Fuller. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right. His throw incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Setting up the screen for Miller. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen. And they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Here is Andrew Luck, the focus of our player spotlight. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. That first down run could not have turned out worse for a defense because when they came out on the field, their number one mission, keep them stacked up close to their goal line, and at worst, create great field position for their offense.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Love. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Looking left side, and it's complete. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Back to throw, Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now a first down throw, Watson. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. It's complete to Fuller. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. We'll remind you once again, coming up at halftime, we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He's got stats and scores from around the NFL as we wrap up the first month of the season.
No longer is he a rookie, the coach, a true veteran now.
A crafty veteran. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
After the interception, it's Love. Looking deep for Hilton. And got his man complete. The 20. 10, touchdown, Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton, 84 yards. And the Colts strike quickly here for 6 points. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Vinatieri connecting on the extra point, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. Now it's Ellington to return. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
To throw on second is Watson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. The Texans on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. A shotgun snap for Watson. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And we take some time to spotlight T.Y. Hilton now. He has certainly made the most of his catches so far, both of them going for touchdowns here in half number 1.
And we've never met a team that doesn't talk about getting off to a fast start and featuring guys that they want to have the ball early. We're seeing both of those come into play here. Off to an incredible start. Got their feature guy going, and now everyone else should have opportunities.
Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Kevin Johnson. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw this ball into the hole in the zone, but those windows can open and close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So if the timing's not right, we'll see interceptions like that one right there.
After the interception, here's Watson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. To throw on second down. Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. The Texans on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. Out of the gun, Watson. To the right side, complete to Miller. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Kaimi Fairbairn now to attempt the Texan field goal. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. We focus our attention now on T.Y. Hilton as he gets ready to head back onto the field. Not a bad day at the office there. Maybe he would like the catch number to go up a little bit, but I think most guys would say 2 catches, 2 touchdowns. That's okay.
I think if the catch number goes up, we start talking about the record books because at that pace, this type of efficiency, oh, yeah, I think I'd throw it to him a little bit more often.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. So we hit halftime here in. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Now it's Ellington to return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Well, that's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now it's Watson, a bootleg, rolling to his right. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Delvin Breaux with a pick. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. On 1st down, it's Locke. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, here's Locke. Hitter here, it's complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part of it.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And thanks to the interception, the Colts offense cashes in with 6. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
So now Luck is going to bring the Colts up here to go for the 2-point try. They're going to keep it on the ground. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense that has more pressure, because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
And here comes the Texans now. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10, right at the 30. They go back to the air here after the INT of the last drive. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Fuller. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. Watson on 1st down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. The loss of 3 on that 1st down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. To throw is Watson. Off the bootleg. Sliding out of the pocket. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Rashad Breeland there defensively and able to knock that one down to the ground.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. The Texans on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Again, it's Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Danico Autry is in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Throwing on third down, Watson. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. John Simon in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
And that's his second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Luck on first down. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And he gets it down to the 32. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Here's Matt. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. A pickup of 5 that time and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first and 10, Locke. Caught left side by Hilton. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
To throw on second down is Locke. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Luck and the Colts looking for something big here after the sack. This is third and long. From the gun, here's Locke. Pressure gets to him again. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And Vinatieri's kick is good. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tyquan Lewis makes a stop.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to...
Back now here on EA Sports. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. On 2nd down, here's Miller. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. John Simon in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out of it.
With the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. On 1st down, it's Watson. Oh, it's a screen pass. It's complete. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. A gain of 32 that time. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 21-yard line. Now a play fake here on 1st down, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Defense.
Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. To the air yet again, Watson. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Bruce Ellington, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans cut into that lead. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. Now Watson, he's going to lead the Texans up to go for 2. They'll try and run it in with Miller. And he will get into the end zone to cut the lead a little bit further. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out and says, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Sometime in this fourth quarter, someone on defense is going to have to step up and force a turnover.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Luck now on 2nd down. And his pass incomplete. Trying to get that one to his running back, Marlon Mack. And it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, Luck. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Well, there you go. You said someone was going to have to step up, force a turnover. That's exactly what they needed.
Yeah, now they need to capitalize, get this back to a one-score game. From there, anything can happen.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. Here's Watson. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. They got to have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. Here's Miller. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal. And he'll run forward with Miller. And he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. Miller kept out of the end zone on 4th and goal, and instead of having a 1-score game, they'll remain 2 scores down. So now with a 2-minute warning coming up fast, that puts a mammoth dent in their comeback hopes.
I like how you phrased it. It's a dent because there's still opportunity. They've got to get the ball back on defense, obviously twice. But guess what? This thing is not close to being over. They need to go ahead and play it out.
Not over. As you said, 2-score game still. After the interception, it's Luck. Oh, he's the most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild, and at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. 4th quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it, but you know every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction. And that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him. And now out comes Houston. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. They go play action here on 1st down. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. They were trying to get the connection with a former Buckeye, Braxton Miller. That'll bring up second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to the air. Watson on second down. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he will bring it back. An interception return for the Colts TD. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. And the lead is up to 15 now. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Now it's Ellington to return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 29. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one. 42 yards. Now a first down throw, Watson. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Watson. And he's going to be taken down. Back around the 35-yard line. Jabal Sheard in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. 3rd and long. It's Watson. He's got it complete to Braxton Miller. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. And he'll find Akins there, complete. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th. From the red zone now, Watson. He'll buy some time right. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way. And there it is, the standard symbol. Taking a knee means that one team won and the other one obviously lost the ball game. But now that team that won is 2-2. After the first 4 games, I think they're okay with a 2-2 start. Not overly happy, but at the same time, not depressed either.
You mentioned to me breaking down a season in quadrants. So the first quadrant is kind of a check, as you said, for okay. Not great, not bad.
Yeah, right now they're just holding serve. They look forward to their next 4. Maybe they can make a surge there.
And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Indianapolis, it'll be a 500. For Houston, they'll sink now to 0-4, and they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Dallas Cowboys. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well.